Hey everyone, I'm back. And I just watched Obsession in theaters. And I know that it's really late. This movie has been out for so long. But, that's kind of the point of this channel. I am called the lame critic for a reason. I'm not always the first to talk about a movie. I take my time, see the movie kind of late maybe, and I let it sit with me, and then I share what I think after the hype pretty much settled, or I don't know if there's still hype around this one because this movie was really good. So let's talk about Obsession. I went into the movie expecting kind of a straightforward horror film. Again, I didn't really do too much research. Obviously, I saw some things on social media against my will on TikTok and whatever because, again, it was out for a long time before I went and watched it. But even with those little spoilers, I still was blown away. I thought that it exceeded my expectations, and it was deeper than just a surface level horror movie. It was suspenseful, it was genuinely creepy, and it took me on a complete emotional roller coaster. I was like all over the place. It was like just when you thought that there was a calm part of the movie, something else would happen and it would just have your heart racing. Especially that one scene where Bear was in the car with the other girl and Nikki found out and showed up out of nowhere. That was the absolute scariest and probably one of the most unsettling scenes I've ever seen in a horror movie. Like, when I tell you, I was terrified when that happened. I literally jumped out of my seat and I was in genuine shock.
Lord have mercy! Damn, this is some scary shit! I am scared!
But yeah, one of the things that I liked the most about this movie was the atmosphere. Like, it was all really well done. It built up this unsettling feeling. There was so much tension. The visuals went really well with the tone of the movie. It wasn't just a bunch of cheap jump scares like a lot of the other horror movies are that I've seen recently. And also what I liked about it is that it didn't center around supernatural horror, like entirely. It was more about psychological issues, if anything, grief, loneliness, and just how dangerous being obsessed with someone can be. And it's that psychological and emotional aspect that was the scariest part for me, and it's what stayed with me even after the movie. And the craziest part is that the scariest part of the movie wasn't the One Wish Willow and the entity, but it was actually Bear. Because even when Bear realizes that the real Nikki is trapped inside of this One Wish Willow entity, he knows she's still in there. She talks to him in the room that night and asks him to unalive her because she's just suffering and she's trapped in there. And Bear knows this. He's aware of this now. And instead of doing anything to save the real Nikki, he just goes along with it because this is the version of Nikki he always wanted. A version of her that is obsessed with him. And not just obsessed with him, but just as obsessed with him as he is with her. And it's the version of her that he always wanted. Because I think that Bear was actually the person in the movie that was obsessed. He was the one who had an issue, and his obsession became so powerful that he stopped caring about Nikki and her well-being, and he just was so concerned with what he wanted. And honestly, to me, that was the most disturbing part about it. When that scene happened, I was like, well, this makes a lot of sense, because while we do think that it's Nikki's character, her entity from this One Wish Willow that's obsessed with Bear, well, actually no, it's that Bear was obsessed with her, and that's the reason that all of this happened, and he basically ruined her life. And the acting in the movie was just so well done too, that these characters really had you hooked. They had you drawn in because you could feel what they were feeling, and I felt like I was experiencing all of the ups and downs with them. And another thing that really stood out to me, and I was thinking about it even after the movie, was the fact that on the box of the One Wish Willow, there was the word tabby cat. And I think there was also a photo of the cat, if I'm not mistaken, or a cat. And I don't think that that was there accidentally. I don't know if anyone else has analyzed this. I haven't really looked up any videos about hidden meanings and stuff like that, but there's got to be some connection there between Bear's cat that died right before he bought that One Wish Willow and that tabby cat and that little symbol on the box. I just feel like there's some connection there because all of this started happening not only after he made the wish with the One Wish Willow, but also right after his cat died. And I'm wondering if the spirit from the cat had something to do with it, or if it was like some type of sacrifice that needed to be done in order to make the One Wish Willow actually work. So I'm not too sure, but let me know in the comments if you guys noticed that too, that tabby cat little picture on the box, and what do you guys think about that, because I don't think I'm the only one that noticed it. And you know, I don't think that there was much more that this movie could have done to make it better. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I maybe would have loved to hear a little more backstory on the One Wish Willow itself. Like, I feel like we were just introduced to it in this store and it was just kind of dropped in there. So maybe some backstory about where it came from and how it works and stuff, that might have been cool. But I mean, the movie was already very good. I mean, it had me hooked from the start. I was entertained. I was scared. I laughed a few times, and I also enjoyed the overall roller coaster, the emotional roller coaster that it took me on. And I was thinking about it even after the movie was done. I was thinking about it and trying to analyze it. Anyways, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the movie, but if you haven't, it's worth watching. And, you know, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought about it and what you guys think about that whole tabby cat reference. I'd love to hear some of your theories. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe. It would really help out my channel. And until next time, thanks for watching.